Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and I'm going to be guiding you through this 1 hour power yoga flow. So this is just a little bit more of an up-paced yoga flow. We kind of get the best of both worlds. We're gonna get a nice workout in. We're also gonna get a nice stretch and some relaxation. So all you'll need is a yoga mat, preferably if you have one. If not, any surface that's just gonna be a little bit more gentle on the wrists and the knees. And then it's also great if you have a yoga block. You can stack textbooks to kind of mimic this, anything that's just gonna elevate the floor for you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable seated position at the center of the mat. Just grounding the sits bones on the earth. We have a nice long spine here. Stacking the head over the heart and the heart over the hips. Closing the eyes here. Palms face down on the knees for more grounding energy. Palms face up for more receiving energy. Just starting to tune into what your body needs on this particular day. Knowing that each and every day is different. So we just want to honor and appreciate whatever our body is telling us in this present moment. Start to bring your awareness to the breath, to the physical body. We want to take nice long inhales through the nose, feeling the belly expand, and nice long exhales back out the nose, the belly collapse. See if you can match the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale, slowly starting to warm the body from the inside out. A few more fluid breaths. Keeping the eyes closed, tuck the chin into the chest, feeling a nice stretch along the back of the neck. Just starting to work into the cervical spine, calming the central nervous system. On your next inhalation, roll the neck over to the right ear, right shoulder, getting into the left side of the neck. Keeping the sits bones ground, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Come back through center, tucking chin to chest. Inhale, rolling over to the left ear, left shoulder. Exhale back through center, rolling over to the right. Exhale through center. Inhale over to the left. Go ahead and take a few more at your own pace. Just making some half circles with the neck. Moving nice and slow here. We want to be really patient as the body starts to open up. All right, sorry about that. You were just experiencing a little bit of trouble with the microphone. So we were just coming out of our belly twist here, our thread the needle pose. So we're planting the left hand in the mat, pressing into the floor to reach that right arm back up, countering the twist. Draw the shoulder blades to touch. We're going to swing the right arm forward, palm faces up. So from here, we want to shift our weight into the center line, wrap the rib cage in, and begin to engage the core. Really grip the earth with that left hand and see if you can slowly float the left leg off of the mat. Coming into our balancing tabletop. Again, hugging our weight into the center line. We want to equally distribute the weight between that left hand and the right knee. Once you found your stability, we inhale, look through the hands, and exhale, draw elbow to knee under the body. We're pressing into the floor to draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, extend the right arm and the left leg out. Let's go ahead and take 2 more. This is a power yoga class, so nice big inhale and exhale, elbow to knee, engaging the core, embracing that burn. Inhale, sweep it back and out. Exhale, round and curl. Extending forward. We want to keep the arm and leg lifted. Moving into our knee down bow pose. Swing the right hand back to grab the top of the left foot. From here, just bring the heel towards the glute, getting a nice little quad stretch. Again, shifting our weight into the center line here. We don't want to overexpose the left shoulder. On your next inhale, kick the top of the left foot into the hand, opening up into your bow pose. Feeling a nice stretch along the front of the right shoulder. The glutes are firing up. See if you can lift the knee just a little bit more. Opening up the spine here as well. Last breath here. See if you can lift the knee just a little bit more. And exhale, let it go, tabletop. Maybe move through some cat-cows just to reset the spine a little bit. Whatever feels good for you. When you're ready, we'll come back into our tabletop pose. And we inhale, the left arm high to the sky, draw the shoulder blades to touch. Thread your needle, exhale, thread the left arm under and through, top of the left shoulder on the mat. Again, getting that nice twist in the upper middle thoracic spine. If you took a bind on the right side, maybe you want to go into a bind on the left side. Again, just trying to keep a nice balance in the body. Slowly working our way out of this space. Plant the right hand on the mat, reaching that left arm high to the sky. We're not dropping the arm, we're gonna reach it forward. Left hand faces up. Shifting our weight into the center line here. Engaging the core, see if you can slowly float the left leg back and up, coming into your balancing tabletop pose. Once we have our stability here, we look through the left fingertips. Nice big inhalation. Exhale, elbow to knee under the body, round and curl. Engaging those core muscles to keep balanced here. This is a lot harder than it looks. Inhale, take it back and out. 2 more. Nice big inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Reaching out. And inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extending out. Circling the left hand back to grab the top of the right foot. Go ahead and draw the right heel into the glute, getting a nice little quad stretch here. On your inhale, kick the foot into the hand, opening up into your bow pose. Your knee down bow pose, of course. We're opening up that left shoulder, the pectoral muscles, the upper back. We're engaging those quad muscles, strengthening the legs, and just starting to warm up the larger muscle groups in the body. See if you can inhale and lift the knee just a little bit more, getting more intense of a back opener. Final breath here, let it go. Tabletop pose, shake it out. Just releasing the spine here. Finding our nice tabletop form. We're gonna spread the fingertips nice and wide, tucking the toes. Start to engage the core and see if you can lift the knees about a 1/4 inch off of the mat. So the thighs are perpendicular to the earth and the shins are parallel to the earth. This is our floating tabletop pose, really starting to work into those thighs. You can hold here or maybe start to shift your weight forward and back. Feeling a burn in the upper thighs. Starting to get into the oblique muscles here. We'll find some relief by lifting the hips back and up, stepping into our first downward facing dog. So just walking the feet slightly back, the hands slightly forward. Coming into an upside down V shape. The spine is long, the neck hangs heavy. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, we want to rotate the elbow creases forward. And we shift our weight into the back body here. So slowly working the heels towards the earth. It's okay if we can't accomplish that just this early in our practice, as the hamstrings tend to be very tight. But we do want to make sure we're shifting our weight into the back body, as the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders are not weight-bearing joints. Once we have our nice alignment, go ahead and walk out your dog. Pedaling out the feet, the heels, bend and straighten the knees. It's important to keep a nice down dog form, as it is one of the most fundamental poses in our practice. Take the eye gaze to the top of the mat and see if you can walk the feet to meet the hands. We come into a forward fold. So we want the feet hips width distance, so take both knuckles and place them between the feet. That is the distance that you want to be here. So we're just going to hang heavy at first. Go ahead and grab opposite elbows, maybe swing from side to side, whatever feels good for you. Bending into the knees as much as you need. The more we bend into the knees, the more we decongest the low back. Just ragdolling the body here. The spine is long, the neck hangs heavy. Let it go, fingertips graze the earth. As we inhale, we slide the fingertips up the shin, lifting up halfway. Look out and lengthen with a flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go ahead and take 2 more. Inhale, sliding the hands up the shins, look out and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, sliding the hands up, look out and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna roll up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time, as slowly as you can. Rolling the shoulder blades up, back, and down at the top of the mat. Maybe close the eyes here for just a moment, grounding the feet into the earth. We have a nice, strong stance here. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, biceps frame the ears. Lift the gaze, lengthen through the sides of the body. We're gonna move into a side bend here. So grab the left wrist with the right hand. As we inhale, we lengthen, lifting through the sides of the body. And as we exhale, we lean the torso over to the right side. We wanna focus on peeling the rib cage open on that left side and rolling the right ribs under. Getting into the intercostal muscles, engaging the core here. So as we lean the torso over to the right, focus on shifting the hips to the left to facilitate that nice C curve. Last few breaths here. Breathing through this pose. And inhale, come back to center. Go ahead and switch the grip. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we lean over to the left, shift the hips to the right. Getting into the right side body here. Nice deep breaths. This is one of those poses that seems really simple, but actually leaves you out of breath. Inhale back to center. We're gonna take a mild back bend. So take the hands to the low back, the hands face down. We wanna draw the shoulder blades back. See if you can bring the elbows to touch at the back. As you inhale, lift the chest. And as we exhale, we shift the hips forward, leaning the torso back, finding that gentle back bend. Engaging the core here to protect the spine. If you're feeling nice and open, maybe you walk the hands down the back of the legs, allowing the head to lean back. Slowly rising to standing. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, fold. So from here, we're gonna plant the hands on the mat and step both feet back, coming into a plank pose. So we're holding here for just a little bit, so feel free to drop the knees. Plank pose is a full body integration pose. We're working the muscles from head to toes. So we want nice alignment here. We're high on the ball of the toes. We have nice, strong legs. We're engaging the core, and we're pressing away from the floor. We're gonna move through a vinyasa from here. So as we inhale, we shift our weight forward. The shoulders come forward of the wrists. Again, you have the option to drop to knees here. As we exhale, we bend into the elbows, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, we pull the torso forward, coming into our upward facing dog or cobra pose. Nice open spine, lifting the gaze here. Nice deep breaths here. This pose is amazing for our posture. See if you can pull the chest back just a little more. And exhale, we roll over the toes, pressing the hips back, downward facing dog. So feel free to customize your own vinyasa. This is your practice. You have control of your own intensity dial. You can choose when you want to turn the intensity up and when you want to turn the intensity down. From your downward facing dog, sweep the right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Go ahead and bend and straighten the leg. Maybe circle it out, bending at the knee. Just exploring that right hip. We're stacking the right hip on top of the left here. Squaring off the chest here. On our inhale, we lift onto the tippy toes. And as we exhale, we shift the weight forward, stepping the right foot between the hands, lunge pose. Go ahead and drop the knee, untuck the toes, drop knee lunge. So we want to slide the knee back just a little bit, untucking the toes, and then see if you can walk the fingertips back towards the hips, and the chest is going to rise. The fingertips reach down towards the earth. Draw the shoulder blades back, shine through the heart, and inhale the arms overhead. Drop knee lunge. Nice deep breaths here. We lengthen through the sides of the body as the hips lower towards the earth. You can stay here or maybe tuck the toes and straighten the leg, lifting into your full lunge. This is our high crescent lunge pose. We focus on pulling the front body back. There's a slight tuck in the tailbone, so it's okay if that back knee bends just a little bit. We have a nice grounding energy through the lower body, and we have a rising energy through the upper body. Just breathing nice deep breaths here. Moving into our lunge twist, we're gonna cartwheel the arms open towards the right. So planting the left hand on the mat, reaching the right arm up. Twisting from the upper back only. We wanna square off the hips here for our lunge twist. So again, you do have the option to have that drop knee variation. But if you are straightening into the full lunge expression, we want a nice strong back leg. We're high on the ball of the toes. We counter the twist by bringing the right hand down inside of the right foot and peeling the left arm open. This requires a lot more balance here. So really engage that back leg. It's okay if you're wobbly, it's okay if you're shaking. Just breathing through these sensations. Slowly opening up that right hip. Just a very gentle hip opener. We lower the left hand down and walk the body all the way over to the left side, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So we have a very nice wide stance here. The feet are slightly pigeon-toed. Go ahead and allow the torso to soften towards the thighs. The crown of the head releases to the earth. Just finding a gentle forward fold here. Maybe rock from side to side. On your next inhale, we rise onto fingertips. Maybe rise onto a block. Keeping lifted here, we are going to turn the feet out and start to bend into opposite knees. So moving from side to side, our side lunges. Just starting to work into the groin muscles a little bit more here. Moving as slow or as quick as you feel like. And then let it go. Walk all the way over towards the right. Hands frame the foot, lunge pose. Step the right foot back to meet the left, plank pose, moving through a vinyasa. Inhale, we shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, pull the torso through, upward or cobra pose. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, just coming back to our intention. On your next inhale, sweep the left leg high to the sky, stacking the left hip on top of the right. Go ahead and bend and straighten the leg. Maybe circle out that knee, whatever feels good for you. Again, we're just exploring that left hip. On your next inhale, elevate the pose, coming onto the tippy toes. And exhale, start to shift your weight forward. Stepping the left hand between the feet, lunge pose. We drop the knee, sliding it back, and we walk the fingertips back towards the hips, rolling the shoulder blades up, back, and down. Inhale the arms overhead, shining through the heart. Our drop knee lunge, lowering the hips towards the earth. Feeling a nice sensation along the front of the right hip. Nice deep breaths here. Holding this pose, maybe tuck the toes and lift into your high crescent lunge. Adding a little bit of intensity here, getting into those large muscle groups, the thighs and the glutes. Nice deep breath, nice strong stance. Cartwheeling open to the left, we lower the right hand down, reach the left arm up, lunge twist. Nice twist in the upper back. Nice lifted hips. A few more deep breaths here. We counter the pose, bringing the left hand inside of the left foot, reaching the right arm up. Really engaging the core, engaging the legs for stability here. Final few breaths. And exhale, lower the right hand down. We walk all the way over to the right, coming back into that wide-legged forward fold. So similar to the movement that we were doing earlier, we're gonna move into our Skandasana Pose. So let's go ahead and start with our right side. So we're going to shift our weight in to the right knee, bending the right knee, engaging the thigh, and we are going to lift onto the left heel, sliding the heel forward. So this is an intense hip opener. We're gonna feel a nice stretch in the left groin muscles. So if this is too intense for you, maybe you sit on a block here, because the point here is we want to lift the chest here to really get into the groin muscles, and the sits bones point towards the ground. The one thing you want to avoid here is we don't want to be on the toes. So if that means that you're going to be a little bit more lifted, that's totally fine. Whatever makes this pose accessible to you while maintaining nice, good form that's going to keep you safe. So once you're able to lift the chest back, maybe bring the hands to heart center. Nice deep breaths here. I know that this pose can be kind of intense, so we just want to try to breathe through it. Sending our oxygen to those spaces, to those sensations. Slowly release the hands towards the earth, planting them in the mat. We're gonna lift the hips, straighten the legs, and shift over to the left, pivoting on the right heel. Again, walking the torso back, lowering the hips towards the earth. See if you can bring hands to heart center. Again, we always have the option to sit on the block. Just bringing the ground closer to us. Or maybe if it suits you, we're gonna keep the bottom just a little bit more lifted. Nice deep breaths. Slowly coming out of this pose, we lower the hands down, straightening into the legs, wide-legged fold. And then we walk back over to the left, finding our lunge pose. Left foot steps back to meet the right, plank pose. So we've been through a few vinyasas now, so you have the option to press back to your downward facing dog or move through a vinyasa at your own pace. We meet in downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk the feet out to the length of your mat. Walking the hands back just a little bit, we're coming into our down dog twist. So take the right hand, thread it under the body, and grab the outside of the left wrist. Once you've made that connection, see if you can rotate the torso through the body. We're keeping the hips square and just twisting through the upper back. You're gonna feel a stretch along the back of the legs here. Nice deep breaths, taking the eye gaze under the armpits. Final breath on this side. And then let it go, reaching that right hand back forward. Go ahead and take the left hand, make that connection with the outside of the right ankle, and then we twist, peeling the body open towards the right. So we're rolling the right rib cage open and rolling the left rib cage under to get that nice twist. Again, your nose might literally be in your armpit, so you'll definitely know if you forgot to put on deodorant today. but just breathing into this space. And exhale, let it go. Reach that left arm back forward. Closing off the stance here, we're walking the feet back, coming into our traditional down dog. Inhale, we sweep that right leg high to the sky, bend the knee, shift the weight forward, step the foot between the hand, lunge pose. So we're gonna pivot on that back foot, creating a 45-degree angle with the left foot. Press down to rise up into your warrior one. Nice 90-degree angle with the front leg, pulling that front body back, nice deep breaths. A strong warrior stance. We're not holding here long. Cartwheel open, warrior two. Again, nice strong stance. We're gonna move through these next few poses pretty quickly. The body is squared towards the left. The eye gaze is through the fingertips. Nice 90-degree angle with that back foot. Really grip through the blade edge of the left foot. Nice deep breaths. Go ahead and flip the front palm, reaching the torso forward until you can't reach anymore. We reach the right arm up and over, sliding the left hand down the left leg. Reverse warrior two. We want to make sure we continue to track that right knee forward. When we exalt this pose, we have a tendency to lift out of the knee just a little bit, so remember to keep that nice bend. Nice deep breaths here, feeling a nice stretch along the right side of the body. Return to your warrior two. Go ahead and bend that front elbow, placing the elbow on the right thigh. Reach the left arm high to the sky, coming into our extended side angle. We want to imagine we're stuck between two panes of glass, so focus on pulling the upper body back and tucking the tailbone under. We have a nice strong stance here. We're helping to stabilize the pelvis, strengthen the sacrum. If this feels good for you, maybe walk your hand onto a block or onto the floor for a deeper variation of this pose. Lower the left hand down. We're pivoting on that left foot. Moving into our low lizard lunge, we're gonna drop the left knee, untuck the toes. We're going to walk that right foot out over towards the right side of our mat. We shift the hips forward and we roll on to the blade edge of the right foot, allowing the knee to splay open. We're gonna feel a nice stretch along the front of the left hip, as well as a nice stretch, an external hip stretch on the right side. So you can keep lifted here, or maybe work your way onto forearms, maybe prop your forearms up on a block, whatever's gonna make this pose a little bit more comfortable for you. We start to settle into this space, bringing our awareness to the breath and allowing gravity to take its course, drawing the hips towards the earth, opening up the pelvic floor. Maybe close the eyes here. See if you can really let go and surrender into this space. Low lizard lunge is a very intense hip opener. Our hips tend to carry a lot of tension and emotion, especially in women. So it's really important to release into these spaces and to be patient with our body as we do so. Slowly rising out of this pose, we plant the hands on the earth, lifting out of this space. So keeping the hands inside of the foot, we're going to twist open into our side plank pose. So go ahead and untuck the back foot, pivoting on to the blade edge of the left foot And we're gonna swing the right foot on top of the left. Once we made that connection, we can slowly start to peel the body open towards the right, reaching the right arm up. Side plank pose. If you're like me, you just started to shake right away. We wanna focus on lifting those hips here. You have the option to drop the right knee to modify this pose, or maybe stack the feet again for a little bit more intense of a variation. This is a nice oblique strengthening pose. Nice deep breath. See if you can lift the hips a little bit more, engaging the core for stability. Final breaths here. And we rock towards the right, planting the right hand on the mat, twist on the toes, plank pose. You can press back into a down dog or move through a vinyasa at your own pace. From your downward facing dog, go ahead and drop onto the knees, press the hips back on the heels, coming into your child's pose, giving yourself 5 deep breaths. Giving yourself a little bit of time to rest periodically throughout your practice. Maybe take these moments to reflect on what you've accomplished so far. Maybe take these few breaths to thank yourself for what you've accomplished so far. Coming back to downward facing dog whenever you're ready. And we'll move through the left side leg of this flow. Inhale, sweep the left leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Bending into the knee, we shift the weight forward. Step the left foot between the hands, lunge pose. Pivot on the right foot, nice 45-degree angle. And we press down to rise up into our warrior 1 pose. Again, moving through these poses nice and quickly, but holding long enough to really feel a nice engagement in those legs, a nice workout. From our warrior 1, we cartwheel open into our warrior 2, squaring off the body, keeping a nice strong gaze through the fingertips. Draw the shoulder blades to touch. I know that front quad is burning. Just a few more breaths here. Go ahead and flip the left palm. We reach forward until we can't reach anymore. And then lift up and over, sliding the right hand down the right leg. Exalted warrior 2. Continue to track the front knee forward. Feel a nice opening in the left side intercostal muscles. Inhale, come back to warrior 2. Bend the front forearm, placing the forearm on the knee. Reach that right arm high to the sky, extended side angle. Holding here, or maybe working the hand onto the block or a floor. I love using a block here. I just find that it keeps me nice and lifted, and it prevents me from dipping my chest forward, which is something that we want to try to avoid in this pose. So if you're feeling a lot of pressure in the hips, see if you can engage the legs a little bit more. Exhale the right hand down, pivoting on the right foot. drop the knee, moving into our low lizard lunge. We're gonna walk the left foot out, rolling onto the blade edge of the foot and sinking the hips forward. Allow the left knee to splay open. Maybe you keep lifted here if that's what best suits you. Or maybe you work your way onto forearms. Again, maybe using the block. Nice deep breaths here. We're holding here for about 5 deep breaths. Maybe close the eyes here. Again, this pose can be slightly uncomfortable for some people. That's completely natural, that's completely normal. But when we're uncomfortable in a pose, we tend to fidget. We tend to look around, play with our hair, touch things that are around us. So see if you can bring your awareness to the present moment. Bring your awareness to this pose, to your intention. Breathing through that discomfort rather than running away from it. It's in those spaces where we have discomfort, where we have sensations, and we fight through it, and that is where we see the most progress in our yoga practice. Slowly rising out of this pose, we plant the hands on the mat. The hands are still inside of that left foot. So we're twisting open into our side plank pose. I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate it the other way just so that we can see. So from here, spread the fingertips nice and wide, tuck the right toes, and we're going to swivel the left foot on top of the right, and then we extend the left arm towards the sky. You have the option to drop the right knee down and then lift the hips from here. Or maybe you stack those legs for a little bit more of a workout. You're really gonna get into the oblique muscles on the right side here. Press into the floor to lift the hips. Nice deep breaths. The arm might start to shake. We're just holding here for a few more breaths, getting our nice workout at the end of our practice. And let it go. We swivel over, lowering the left hand down, plank pose, press back to a down dog, or move through a vinyasa at your own pace. From your downward facing dog, go ahead and take the gaze to the fingertips, walking feet to meet the hands. We're gonna sit down, lowering the sits bones onto the earth, and slide the buttocks back, coming into our seated staff. Maybe rock from side to side, pulling a little bit of flesh out from under you. We have a nice long spine here. Go ahead and inhale the arms overhead. Flexing those feet, we are going to lower the torso onto the thighs, keeping a nice flat spine here. The backs of the legs may be a little bit more open at this part of our practice. Go ahead and reach the arms forward with the palms up. We're going to rise to a flat spine, and then we are going to rock back on the sits bones, lifting the feet off of the mat. Coming into our bow pose, keeping the knees bent. This is going to be our half bow pose. For an added challenge, see if you can extend the legs straight for full bow pose. You can just hold this position for a little bit more core cultivation at the end of our practice. We're going to swing the arms open, straightening the legs, lowering the torso into our canoe pose, and then we rise back to our boat pose. Go ahead and take 5 at your own pace. Meeting back in our boat pose. I think that's enough core for today. We're just going to extend the arms and legs forward, coming into our corpse pose. Inhale the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug, finding a little bit of release in the low back after that core work. Maybe rock side to side. Give yourself a little bit of a low lumbar massage. Moving into our happy baby, grab the outer blade edge of the feet. We're going to open the knees, open the legs. So the heels are parallel with the knees. And we're slowly bending into the arms to pull the knees towards the earth, getting into those groin muscles, maybe rock from side to side, maybe completely straighten into the legs for a straddle variation. Go ahead and take the knees back into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Exhale, extend the left leg forward, keeping the right knee into the chest. Moving into a belly twist, we swing the right knee over towards the left side, shifting the hips back towards the right in order to keep the hips nice and stacked here. We extend the right arm out towards the right side, taking the gaze through the fingertips. Nice deep breaths here, sending oxygen-rich blood throughout the body to the muscles. Inhale, come back to center, hugging the knees in. Exhale, extend the left leg forward. The right leg forward. Moving into our belly twist, we swing the left knee up and over to the left, extending to the right, extending the left arm out towards the left side. So again, we have the left knee over to the right side and the left arm over to the left side. Inhale back to center, hugging the knees into chest. One last time. And exhale, let it go. Extending both legs forward, coming into your final Shavasana. Allow the feet to splay open, the palms face up by the sides. Just fully surrendering into this space. We start to calm the mind, we calm the breath, and we calm the body. Relaxing the face, the jaw, the eyes shut here. Slowing down the breath here. Giving yourself these last few moments of practice to disconnect. Oftentimes we are so busy, or we have a lot on our mind, that we don't give ourselves time to really disconnect from our day, to disconnect from our to-do list. So giving yourself these next few moments. Go ahead and start to bring some movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Maybe stretch the arms overhead. And we roll onto our right side, finding a fetal position, using the right bicep as a pillow. Rising into a seated position whenever you are ready. Closing the eyes here. Bring hands to heart center, tucking chin to chest. Coming full circle, coming back into our seated position. I want to close practice today by thanking each and every one of you for showing up on your mat today. More importantly, take a moment to thank yourself for showing up on the mat and for making a healthy decision for yourself. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And from my heart to yours, namaste.